Like all of my spells?
Yeah. How do spells? How do I spell?
Hello.
I don't know.
Hello.
How does one spell? What
They
is
don't.
D&D?
I don't know.
What is a D&D? Maybe I'll do this one.
Well, we're doing a D&D. Welcome back, everyone, to Lost in the Wild on GutPunchRP. This is, if you're on Twitch, just after break. You're here for the break. It's fine. If you are on YouTube, not Twitter, YouTube, you will be seeing us a couple days later from when this ended. So welcome back. Thank you for tuning back in. But we are here in a little Harengon town. A warren. It's underground. The team has just bedded down for the night. Elio has a sweet new pipe of smoke monsters. Everyone is dreaming of spells. Or are they dreaming?
I don't know. DM.
I don't know.
Are we
DM,
dreaming?
Are we dreaming?
You tell us.
Nah, nothing's bad is gonna happen to you, but
I just
Do casters dream of electric?
yes.
This
Witch bolt.
Dax will kind of wait until they think everyone's asleep and then just be like, Elio, you awake?
No.
Do you want to check out this weird little bunny town?
Yes.
all right. If you're sneaking out, roll some stealth rolls.
Nice.
Just snoring softly.
Also entirely passed out. Yeah.
Hey Kai,
Yeah.
I'm gonna DM you something real quick.
Oh no. Just-
I rolled real bad, but 17.
I
oh,
rolled real bad, 8.
Wow. Let me find this window. How does computer work? There we go.
Just as a point of note, just so me and you are on the same page, you know. Nothing necessarily happens with that, but just so the DM is aware that that is technically a thing.
Okay, with this secret thing, would this be obvious to people who had like worked with you for as long as they have? Like, would they know this?
Yeah. So, Veritas doesn't actually sleep. Like, I don't even trance. I straight up do not sleep. So, Veritas is in the bed that they have very nicely prepared for him because they went through the trouble of getting it together. I'll use it. But you would know that Veritas is wide awake because he, in fact, does not sleep.
That's why we're stealthy.
There you go.
Yeah, it's also like, would Veritas care, or would Veritas just like sit there and watch them go?
Veritas would care and also sit and watch them go. Like he's like, okay, well, hopefully I won't have to go pick them up if they get drunk at a party.
I was trying to pull up this right here. Okay. So it was, you said 17 and 8, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, aside from just making eye contact with Veritas as you leave this room and Daz trips over something, everyone else stays asleep and you can just walk out, like. And the town is very quiet. There's lamps that look sort of like old-timey gas lamps, but you gather that they're sustained by something a little bit more arcane. but there's not really anyone like out and about. You're in the square, and there's roads that lead off the square. There are other buildings around here that you could go into. You can just start walking in a direction and roll for what you find.
What did you want to explore, Daz?
I don't know. It's more just that, like, this is wild. Like, all of these. It's an underground town.
Ingenious, really.
Yeah. And they're bunnies.
I mean, yeah.
Like, I mean, we see quite a lot of things, but like there's so many.
It's exciting, right?
Yeah.
Last most exciting thing I think we've seen in a while is Veritas.
Yeah.
But bunnies.
Bunnies.
They have a whole political system.
And magic scarves. Like, I still want to know.
Who the enchanter is.
That is probably a better question. I still just want to know, did the name predate the scarf, or the...
What came first?
Which came first, the scarf or the name?
I think it's likely that maybe the name came first and then he merchandised.
So
I would think the scarf would come first. Like, it's a magical scarf. Like, I feel like it's that, and then, so how did he? Maybe we should find out how they got the name. But also, if we want to do practical things, we're supposed to talk to a ranger about the.
I think it's a little late for a ranger, don't you think?
I mean, if a bar's open, then it's not.
Then let's find a tavern. And he will dart off in a direction where there might be a tavern.
Yeah. Okay. As Romy, an investigation or perception check, one of those.
That's a 12.
Okay, you start like wandering the streets. You kind of turn down one of the wider lanes of the Warren that goes off, and you end up in like generally what you would consider like maybe a more industrial district. Like it looks like they don't have industry; they're not like smelting metal. But you gather this is like maybe where the carrots come from, and possibly there is someone making clothes here, and it does have a little bit of like a clay smell, like things are being made here. And even though it's late, it's getting on midnight, you kind of hear what is probably this place's version of a dive bar.
I thought Ori was rubbing off on me.
No, it's quiet enough, but like it's still more lit than the other places. So if you ended up in this part of town, you have found a little dive bar in between sort of a few businesses that seem like they would cater more to like, I need new earthenware, my pan's broken, that sort of thing. But yeah, it's a narrow little, like, I want to say English style pub, but that doesn't really exist. But yeah, you can go on in, and it has a black rabbit on the sign above the door.
My favorite kind of tavern does.
Ones with black rabbits?
Ones where the folks would be more accepting if we walked in the door.
Ah. Well, shall we?
have a good time. We shall. And he will go in.
So you walk in, and it kind of has the thing where it is like the narrow bar and the little stools in front of it. Very much not designed for folks as tall as you. The other side has like a bench and one of those like little narrow half bar things. There's a lot of the few Harengon that are here are kind of like leaning, and they seem to all know each other. And there's a few of them that are sort of like sooty or like almost dusty, like they clearly like work nearby. But one of them goes, "It's Daz!" And all of them just kind of like turn and just go, "Ah!" They get very, very excited. You also gather there are a few drinks in. So these are some like just excited tipsy rabbits, and they like all come up and sort of like want to shake your hand and also shake your hand, Elio.
Elio will just lean into Daz and say, wow, they really liked the second best show ever in the world.
I feel like that's generous. I don't feel like that's my best, but the second best bard in all the planes of existence.
Mm. Who's buying Daz a drink?
They kind of all like look around.
The reality is that, like, if we're as impressive as I am, you should see what this man can do with a dagger and a target.
Oh no, you flatter me.
And kind of from the corner, you hear this sort of like the gruffest, deepest voice you could imagine coming from a Harengon. I'd like to see what you could do with a dagger, but it's nothing. And he sort of like flips the dagger up and embeds it in like the wood at your, not the wood, the earth at your feet, just like an inch off your toes.
Ooh, fancy man. He will respond and flick it on the table like in front of him. He's gonna pick up his dagger though and say, "You dropped this."
And he's gonna like wrench yours out of the table using both of his hands because it is a little big for him. It's gonna be like, fine craftsmanship, good balance. How about we make a wager?
I love a wager.
He's like sort of like looking around, and you just see like that one end of the bar just like clear out as people are like, they need something to throw against, and this seems entertaining. And sort of the barkeep like shuffles over, drags a stool, walks off, goes and gets like a crate, sort of sets it precariously on top of the stool, and then sort of starts to look around again and finds like a squishy piece of fruit and balances it like very precariously. Well, I probably got something like a prize out of the bar for the winner.
Wonderful.
Stop. Okay, all right, let's do a little.
Like as Elio's getting ready, oh, Elio, try to take it a little easy on him, though. Just, make it fair and fun, and goes and like smacks Elio on the ass, and you'll have a bardic inspiration.
Nice.
So professional. All right, we are going to do the bartender remains there standing a little bit perilously close, but clearly thinks you are both good enough to not hit him. So did you find this little guy? There we go. So he is balanced this little piece of rotten fruit that you are glad he is not going to cut up and put in anyone's drink now. But we will go best 2 out of 3 on some. We'll just go straight dex rolls. You're still gonna.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
What do these poor little rabbit guys have? Plus,
First one.
Is a what?
15.
15. All right. Well, I mean, do you have another one that's above a 10?
Oh, I can roll again.
Yeah. I just rolled them all at once.
Second one is a 10.
Well, you go ahead and win because I rolled a 2, a 9, and then the 14 was the highest of them. So
Lovely.
this rabbit kind of stands up and gets ready to take his throw, and you realize now that maybe he has had a few more drinks than he thought he had. He did that thing where he was like feeling very steady when he was on his stool, feeling good, and stood up and he was like, "Ooh, air's a little different."
Feel a bit bad now.
That's all right. And he goes, well, can't win them all. And he sort of like claps you on the low elbow, like trying to hit a shoulder, but is far too short for that. Nice throwing.
Same.
How'd you all find your way down? And he kind of like looks around at the way like everyone else is like staring at you, and he goes, yeah, I guess pretty rare. What's your next move?
That's why we're here, actually. We were wondering if you knew someone who worked for us. A ranger of sorts.
He sort of like closes one of his like eyes and like leans back a little bit. Now he's like leaning against the little low bar thing. Well, if I said I could help you, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying I'm a ranger.
Wonderful.
Kicks a little bit.
Well, now that we're friends, I think names are in order.
You have at your service, sort of like leans back a little too far, Rome, the ranger.
Rome the ranger.
It's simple, easy to remember. That's why I took the job, really.
It's got a good ring to it as well.
Mm-hmm. And you too?
Elle.
Oh, and the fancy one?
Daz.
Oh. Well, what questions do you have for this old ranger? It's almost bedtime.
I think it's past bedtime.
Oh, probably. Takes another sip of his drink.
Do you know anything about the tree over that way? The big one?
Oh, I know about. Everyone knows about the tree. What do you need to know about the tree? You can see it from the causeway. It's a big ass tree.
I see we have an expert on our hands.
Well, I can lead you to it. I can get you to talk to the people in it. Well, they're fairly friendly if you're not the hag.
So you've spoken to them?
Yeah. I'm a ranger. I go arranging, and I sometimes talk to people.
Like flowers? You arrange? You go arranging? Like flowers?
I'm regretting talking to you tall people.
Oh, no, please don't say that.
Rome if you want to.
Yes, please.
He is looking like he like switches the eye that's open and the eye that's closed. Just kind of looks at Daz with confusion and a little bit of confusion. Is that one okay? Turns back to Elle.
Definitely.
All right. Well, Yeah, the tree is mostly run. Now he's kind of going into a story about the tree, and he's like, it's run by, well, the lost ones, I guess you could say they're in charge, but like the oldest one of them's like 14, so I don't know really what the,
They're children.
well, they're mostly, yeah.
Oh,
Well, it's the, just the thing where you sneak into the carnival and then the little pig girl takes you, and sometimes they take them straight through. And
yes, we don't talk about her.
he kind of like looks at both of you a little bit more closely, and he's like coming to the realization, like, oh, you're from the carnival. You wouldn't want to talk about Pig, then would you? Dark dealings.
She doesn't harm them in any way.
Well, I mean, they don't like eat them, but like that kidnapping kids, that doesn't seem not
Yes, I mean-
harmful.
I mean, beyond that.
Well, I mean, the kids sometimes attack the castle, but also some of them are like 100 years old.
Sorry. You said they were children? How could they be?
They come here and time, and he's kind of like, now he's just like looking at his desk. Time here is like a liquid that's thick.
Like a soup?
Yeah, it's like a soup. They just kind of stay the way they are.
Right, I should know that.
But I mean, I don't know how it works on the other side. Like, if they go back out, they might age up. No. And now he's kind of like just thinking about
Something
time
too odd.
paradoxes.
If we spoke to them, they would speak to us, though.
I don't see why not.
Do you know
Yep.
any of their names?
The one in charge was was it a Will? Will.
Will.
That sounds right. Yeah, that's right. That's for sure. That's definitely for sure. It's Will. He's the one. I think he hasn't been here the longest though. So I always think that they would do it by seniority because you would know more, maybe. And now it's just like kind of winding off about the government of the tree being questionable.
Are you satisfied, Daz, with all of that information?
I think so.
Is that where we're headed?
I mean, that group. Oh,
Well,
you're still part of this conversation. Hello.
Oh, he's like sort of looks up from stuff. I mean, there's more interesting places. They got a swamp. There's some really cool ruins at the swamp. You should definitely go check. No, that's a lie. Don't go check out the ruins.
Are you trying to get us killed by a Jabberwocky?
Well, once I said it out loud, it sounded less funny. So no, don't go to the ruins. But if you're trying to go to the castle. He kind of like looks you up and down because you're trying to fight the hag. Again, just pauses.
Do you need us to fight?
Well, well, maybe the carnival sent you to help stop stealing kids. It would seem like a nice thing to do, but here we are. No, I personally don't need you to fight the hag, but there are maybe other ways to the castle.
Other ways.
Like,
Well, from the causeway, and he sort of like points back towards maybe the direction that Broken Bridge is in. You saw the smoke from the mines. Well, you wouldn't know where they were. I say that like there's the black smoke from the mines, and I wouldn't call it legend, but the word is that there's a tunnel directly to the castle there, which there might be a small obstacle there now.
A small obstacle. What's that?
Well, the Briganox are having a bit of a kerfluffle with their neighbors, and it is making things hard, and I don't so much go that way anymore, because there's some dark energy.
Dark energy. Okay.
The vibes are very off. Hiccups
Sounds
again.
like. Well, Rome, very informative for a ranger. I think you were right into the right profession.
Thank you. I've been at it a long time.
Do you recommend
Yes.
any natural flora that maybe we could eat on the road should we get a bit famished?
I feel that I would recommend taking some carrots with you. And he sort of like reaches out, like taps your hand, like consolingly. He's like, what you find in the wilds of the Fae might not agree with you.
Sure, I'm always up for something new, though, so figured I'd ask.
Are you looking for drugs, young person?
No, not necessarily.
you brought the topic up.
Oh, that's I can point you to someone, but that's a different question than what do you want to eat in the wild. And, have you all met Trundle? Trundle knows where to get the good stuff.
Seems about right.
Of course.
Well, he just sort of, now he's like looking around. He's got like very, very tired eyes. Like it's gone from like the one eye being alert and awake to just like two sleepy little. Well, any other questions?
No, I think we're all right.
I hope you don't go to the ruins.
We will
'Cause
try not to.
It'll eat you, and you don't seem like you deserve to be eaten.
That's very kind of you to say.
Thank you. And then he kind of like goes off, and clearly there's like room in the back that he maybe rents. He's like, yep. And he just like goes off. Absolutely gonna go pass out. Old man ranger who's seen some stuff.
Good for him. All right, 2 questions for you, Tess. Would
Two
you?
answers.
Yes. First, would you like to drink until we pass out? Question number 2.
Yes.
Wait. Do you want to be hungover for our adventure tomorrow?
I mean, I feel like it's a yes and a no. So if it's possible to have both of those outcomes, I am down to clown, as they say.
Definitely possible. Just gotta take the chance.
I do enjoy games of chance.
So do I.
All right. So you guys are doing some shots at this towny bar is what's happening.
Partying with rabbits.
Yeah, and the rabbits are happy to have you. Like the few who are still standing are like, yes, one more round. And there's a couple who maybe got there a little bit later, like had a shift or whatever going on, who are still ready to hang out. And then there's some who's like, you're like, don't give that rabbit another shot. This is gonna go poorly. But they do. It's a liquor that's probably like the kombucha, but like much later. So it is strong. It is tangy, but it drinks. It's fine.
It's great.
Yeah. So I mean, how many shots are we doing? What are you two? Are you really going hard? Or are you just doing like one?
Can I do like a constitution
Yeah, I mean,
roll for it?
I would say you get the first one for free, but like all of them after that, it's just a little constitution.
Great. He calls it quits real soon. That's a 5.
I mean, yeah, Elio takes like one more shot and starts to get a little bit like.
Do you still have bardic inspiration though?
I do. Is it a 6?
Yes.
That is 9.
I mean, you're upright. You're doing okay.
Do you
But
think
also-
Veritas will come get us?
Someone called Dad. Yeah. That's about it. You get like 2 shots in, and you're like, wow, this actually has some power behind it. Maybe these rabbits are not fucking around.
Respect on them now.
Let's see how Daz is doing on their constitution.
That's a 15.
You'll make it through the first shot. You can do another if you like, and you're still feeling good. If you want to do one more, it's another roll though.
Okay. It's a 5.
So you try and do this next shot, and it just does that thing where it gets like caught in your throat a little bit. And you manage to not throw up, but it just gets kind of like spit taked onto the ground a little bit. So you might, the rabbit behind the bar clearly is like, I don't care, I'll give you more. You probably shouldn't have more.
That feels right.
All right, so you go back out into the night. And try and-
Lovely town.
is great. All right, roll a survival to find your way back. Someone.
Can I be waiting outside for them because I knew that this would happen. Just outside of the place. I'm not like walking
Okay.
around looking for them.
I feel like, I'm down to roll survival. I feel like it should be a disadvantage though.
I mean, are either of you actually good at survival to begin with?
I mean,
Yeah, no, you can absolutely roll at disadvantage. I was trying to make it kind of fair.
it's a 4.
Nice. What?
I mean, I didn't roll much better. I rolled a 7.
Okay.
I thought it was Ori who always got lost.
So you two
She's
are.
also great.
I'm also really good at survival, though. I just get lost.
Yeah. So you guys start wandering the direction that you think is the correct one, and you take a few left turns and then a right turn, and the tunnels keep kind of getting a little bit smaller. So now you're like they're brushing the tops of both of your heads a little bit, and you're just like, okay, we definitely took a wrong turn somewhere. As you are in like the starter home neighborhood of this rabbit warren. Like people have cute little like gardens outside with like glowing mushrooms and little picket fences, and you're just like clomping through their neighborhood at like 2:30 in the morning, like a drunk tourist would.
There's like the weird tunnels. I feel like Elio is gonna turn to Daz and be like, "Oh, be careful, your horns are gonna get stuck." And then look at Daz really intently, and then just like start laughing really.
Oh goodness. All right. So
Why are there two of you? Stop moving.
you hear from one of the like little houses. Oh, keep it down.
Oi, you keep it down.
Oh,
Sorry.
it. Yes, you're so rude. It's okay, honey. Just close the windows. They'll be gone tomorrow. So you continue to wander. You take a few more turns. Finally, like decide to turn around and maybe go the other way for a little bit. About 3:15, 3:30, you make it back to Veritas' just disappointed dad outside, all of his arms crossed.
Hello.
Hello.
Did you get lost?
No.
Hmm.
A little.
Yes. A little.
It was fun though.
Well, at least there's that. And I will produce 2 water skins for them each.
A lifesaver.
Yes. Off to bed with you.
Elio will salute and then head on up to bed. And then just like pass out.
Yeah.
Dude.
So you
Like face plant,
Yeah.
basically just like fully clothed face plant into the bed.
all right, and with that, with very different wake-up times, everyone does manage to get a long rest. So around, it was like the 7, 8 a.m. crew had a bit of a lie-in, but had a very rough yesterday, so understandable. Making all kinds of noise. The 2 of you do not move. You have about another 2 hours before you would see a hair or hide of them, as it were. Are 2 sleepers and the responsible one. Would you like to do anything with your morning?
Go. She'd probably want to do like her morning like workout routine, just to like keep in that. But like she would not do her morning jog. She'd just like do some crunches and push-ups and like use her her hammer as like a dumbbell kind of a thing, and then just like they're still sleeping. Okay.
I don't know.
Except
how
she's
you do
not
that
quiet
every
at all.
morning. I don't know how.
It's just good practice. That's all. You just gotta get into it, and then you do it every day.
I mean, you say that, but my arms are noodles.
11 years I've been doing it.
That'll do it. That makes sense. Okay.
I mean, I'd be
Return.
happy to show you some really good workouts if you want. We can put some muscle on those bones. Come on, Cobalt. It'll be great.
She's like clutching onto her book, clutching her spell.
Come on.
I'll let you handle all of that.
It feels so good once you do it.
I'm okay. I like my books. Thanks, though.
Right.
Maybe another time.
Okay, I'll hold you to that. Another time then. I'll ask you tomorrow.
I didn't say tomorrow.
You said another time. Tomorrow.
I know, and I didn't
Later
specify.
today, then.
I did not specify when that
I'll
other
just
time would
try.
be.
I'll try again later.
Okay. Let me go back to prepping my spells for the day.
I'm gonna go down and go to the bar next door and see if they've got any breakfast.
Oh yeah, actually yeah. I'll join you for that. Coming?
Are you-
Veritas?
Got breakfast?
I still have to do a little bit of image training, but I'll be along shortly.
All right.
Okay. See you over there. Do you think they're okay? They're dressed in their clothes.
They've drank more and slept harder. I'm sure they'll be fine.
Drink.
They'll be fine. They'll be a little cranky, but they'll be fine.
All right.
If they're anything like my older siblings, they'll be fine.
So you go to the bar next door. The town square is already bustling, even like a little bit busier than when you were first here last night. People are setting up like little shops and stalls that have like all manner of like food and things for the home. But you can go back into the bar where they
Leaf and mushroom.
make a mushroom. What?
Leaf
Leaf
and
and
mushroom.
Oh,
mushroom.
leaf
they
and
there?
mushroom. Yes, leaf and mushroom are there absolutely. And this time you see Leaf is the one more behind the bar, and she seems to be like cleaning a little bit, whereas like Mushroom is out delivering food, and Mushroom is an exceptionally short and very round black and white rabbit who's wearing like a little like almost nightgown style thing with a little apron around it. And he comes up to the edge of the table and he can like barely see over it, and he just goes, "Oh, what can I get for you this morning?"
Oh, what do you have for breakfast? And whatever you have for breakfast, I suppose.
Yeah.
Well, it's just easy. I'll bring you one of everything. Well, because you don't have to pay for it anyway. So,
Oh, okay. Yes. And do you have tea? I would love a cup of tea.
oh yeah, we got the dandelion root tea. We got. Oh, I'll get tea. And he just kind of
Thanks,
goes
Mushroom.
off.
Thank you, mushroom.
Thank you. And he's in the back, and you just hear like clanging and like all manner of things. And he starts coming out.
Do you think it's rude if I call them cute? Because like they're just so adorable, or is that just like frowned upon in the rabbit society?
I'm not sure about that one. I mean, since we're kind of outsiders, I'd maybe err on maybe not, but I don't know.
Oh, right. That's okay.
And with that, a plate is slid onto the table, and it has like something like fritters. You gather another root vegetable situation. It pretty much tastes like hash browns, but they also have like a little like mashed thing, and it is eggs. Like they clearly have some chickens somewhere.
I really want hash browns now.
I do too.
So they bring you out this breakfast and more carrot juice and like something that's like coffee, but you gather it's another root situation. And then
Something with
also,
caffeine, though.
yeah, a selection of teas. Like he brings out like a little tray, and it's like, well, this one's the dandelion, that one's mint, but if you want something with caffeine, that's a black tea. That one's,
What's your favorite?
well, I like the dandelion, but it's because it's
Then
a
I will
little bit. Okay, enjoy. He just like walks away again.
Thanks again.
Thank you, mushroom.
Thank you. And he just goes back. You can like barely see him behind the counter, but you can tell him and his sister are just like rapidly talking to each other. So yes, you have breakfast, you have beverages, you have people who will join you shortly, and Veritas doing Veritas things.
Yes, Veritas is very taking the term image training very seriously. But he doesn't have a particular weapon in his hand. He just sets down the lantern, and he begins to breathe deep, and the lantern starts to emit music. And as it does, a image of Veritas made out of cloud, and the small light emanated within the lantern sort of forms, and I'm going to cast Silent Image out of the lantern. And just practice some fighting forms, like go in between various types of weapons, and just practice purposefully not being quiet as a form of punishment to the hungover ones in the room with him. Not going out of his way to make noise, but not trying to be quiet.
Elio also doesn't sleep and just trances, so like
Nice.
half gets up and is like, "Oh, what the fuck?"
Good morning.
Morning.
How are you
I was
feeling?
muted.
Yeah.
Great. Top notch.
Really?
Mhm.
So you wouldn't mind if I did some shield bashes?
For other reasons, I would appreciate that you didn't do that.
Really? Other reasons?
Hmm.
Would you like to list any of these other reasons?
The rabbits. They
What
might be
about them?
hungover.
Oh, I wouldn't want to be insensitive to the rabbits that are hungover.
Precisely.
And definitely not you, who is completely
No.
sober.
Completely.
Right. Well, I'll just tell them not to give you any coffee. We wouldn't want the caffeine to take your aim off.
But
Why is the room spinning?
It's not. It's just you. Because you didn't finish your
I
water skin before you passed out.
Dazzling.
That is true.
I have been told. Earth movement. And other things.
well, the others.
A bottomless well of wit and knowledge, the two of you.
I know.
All right, both of you up. You need to eat something.
Okay.
Okay.
And we'll get ready and then join our friends down for some breakfast. I immediately ordered 2 different dark ales.
Morning.
Morning. Elio will start eating off of one of their plates.
Don't you dare. Smack his hand away.
Oh,
You'll get your damn own.
As Mushroom brings over the 2 ales in like 2 different hands, I can get you your own food. We have plenty. I'm going. And he comes back like a few minutes later with another like just giantly piled plate of food.
thank you.
Thank
Thank
you. He goes back to the bar.
So, where are we off to now that we're, going? Are we heading straight to the castle?
Big tree first, right?
I'm hoping that before we set out proper, Trundle will come back with that map, but after that, I feel like the big tree's a good place to start, unless anyone had any other ideas.
The big tree seems like a good spot. We talked to someone last night.
Oh yeah.
What?
What'd you find out?
The tree is oddly governed by some weird man-child.
Oh.
All right.
Apparently all the children are... They're children, but they're old.
Hundreds of years.
What? Wait,
Wait, huh?
what? How does that work?
Time is a weird soup.
So they just
What does
kind
that
of,
mean?
Yeah.
Are you saying that they've just kind of stayed kids?
Apparently.
Oh,
Okay, well,
Weird time magic. Okay.
that's good that Star won't have grown up at all.
Well, I mean, relatively.
Okay.
Also, apparently the kids sometimes wage war against the castle.
What?
See, I would have led with that.
What?
They what? I mean, that sounds like a bunch of dumb kids, something that they would come up with, but really?
Wage war against the castle?
Against an evil hag in a castle.
Sorry. You said that seems like something a bunch of dumb kids would do?
I mean, yeah.
Are we
Kids make
not?
stupid choices. Wager more. I mean, like, yeah, we are making the same kind of like dumb choice, but we have more, at least a little bit more ability than I would assume some kids do. I don't know.
Elio's pretty handy with the daggers. Veritas with his with
A little
the
bit more
lantern, and I
firepower.
love his yeah, and then Daz and his guitar. You with your magic. Kichiro with his quarterstaff and its fist, and I'm pretty decent with my hammer.
Sure. I'm just saying kids are pretty capable.
Yeah, it's
I
true.
mean, to be fair, my sisters and I did manage to sneak into the carnival, so there's that.
Me and my siblings too. Yeah.
How'd that
So-
work out for you?
Well, all right. Okay.
Look, we've established that.
I
but
got
I'm
caught. I
just
know.
saying that kids can do pretty crazy things when they put their minds to it.
And we did pull a lot of other shit too, but
So some of them are like hundreds of years old, so
I
Okay.
can't wrap my mind around that. That is.
So just I see what you mean by man-child. Right. Okay.
name was Will? Will.
Will.
Did I make that up, Taz?
No, that was unless it was Peter. No, I think it was Will.
Okay, some kid named Will who may or may not be 100 years old.
Well, no, like I don't think that one's been here as long.
Oh,
But apparently, like the hierarchy isn't determined by tenure here, so
that's weird.
Well,
I mean,
I
the whole-
guess it could come down to skill.
I
If
guess,
he's-
yeah.
He performs the best.
Ah, the
If
whole
you got the
thing
right
is
kind of charisma
ridiculous.
to get people to follow you, then you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, whenever we find Trundle, is Mushroom wandering around?
I don't trust Trundle, but
You can see Mushroom kind of like peeking over the bar. Once again, you are the only customers in here, so like everyone's just-
Do you need something? I could go get it.
Oh, I just was wondering if maybe Mushroom had seen Trundle. As Veritas was saying.
I'll go ask. And you see like Elio with purpose get up and leave after you had been talking.
just
okay,
Are
bye.
going to the bar or leaving.
To the bar.
All right. So you walk up there, and they both like do the thing where it's like they kind of bump into each other and like go away from each other, trying to look busy. It's the same thing at the same time. And then Mushroom kind of like does a double 360 and turns and like leans on the bar. Can I help you?
Yes, we were just wondering if you had seen Trundle at all this morning.
Well, I think I don't. No, well, I haven't seen Trundle, but Trundle, I think, it tends to sleep in because they do. And next to him, Leaf just says, "Well, he's a scallywag and he does night activities, so he's probably still sleeping."
Yes, those scallywags. Night activities. Understood. Thank you very much.
Yeah, let us know if there's anything else we can do. Thank you.
Sure thing. Walks back. They said Trundle is a scoundrel who is probably still asleep.
Well, how long did we want to wait?
And about that time, Agdon Longscarf comes strolling through the door, hitting them both and knocking them back into the walls, of course, with his little scribe running behind him still. sighing heavily as he sort of stops in front of the table and goes, honored guests, honored guests, honored guests. Good morning. How are we all
Good
feeling?
Morning.
I'm
Can we
feeling
help you?
wonderful. I slept like a baby last night. Delightful.
That's what we wanted to hear. Tell your friends, send them our way. But really, is there anything else I can do for you?
Could we get a
Maybe
map?
a map of the area.
Oh, well, that's simple enough. And he like turns to the beleaguered woman behind him and just goes, get them a map. And she turns and tells somebody else to go get you a map. And one of the guards just runs off, probably to someone's office where there are maps of some sort. So just a map then. Well, I mean, we'll obviously escort you out whenever you're ready. You're welcome to stay as long as you want.
Maybe also provisions for the road.
We'll get you. We've got plenty.
Not a ton, but like if there's a little you can spare to help send us on our way.
Yes, well, we have plenty to spare. We're all prosperous. Look at us. He just kind of like points around, and mostly to like the food piled on the table, but then also like clean. Like this is a very nice warren they have set up, and you're just like, everyone here is very well taken care of. So they, she again turns to this rabbit behind him and goes, and you heard about the food. Yeah, okay, you heard the food. And she walks out and clearly just grabs somebody else and tells them to go take care of the food and walks back in and continues scribbling the very exciting minutes of this man who thinks he's in charge's day. Okay, so we'll get you back food. We got that, and you're all set. You know what you're doing.
It's a good question.
Does anybody ever really know what they're doing?
Well, if you want to talk philosophy, there's a guy over at the community college that can help you with that.
Really?
Sure. I mean,
Maybe if we pass back through.
okay. It's included in your living down here. So if you want to, take up residence for a while, we could tell them we have an exchange student. It'd be very exciting. I put that in the paper. It like turns to her again. It just says exchange students.
I'm sure that would be a great way to bring people into your lovely town.
Yes, I'm glad you all enjoyed yourselves, though.
Gonna look around at the others and be like, do we tell him we're going to the tree? Like, is that a thing we're doing?
I don't think that's necessary.
Okay. We're gonna just go explore.
Well, yeah, we'll be on our way as soon as everything's settled, as soon as everything that your folks were gathering up is sorted, then we'll probably just be on our way, I think.
All right. Well, I have, and he sort of like again turns back to her and goes, "Well, I have a gift for the performer," and he like just kind of takes out of like, it's clearly like a bag of holding, but he's just like pulling something out of it. For dazzling us, and he's reading off like a very small card with a spectacular performance of great antiquity. That does not say antiquity. Fuck this card. It's a cloak. It's a cloak that changes to look like other cloaks. It's a cloak of many fashions. Is that what that one's called?
Mm-hmm.
I can relook it up. And then he kind of is like, well, that was really the best thing we had that was, ready to go.
Tell me.
Yeah.
Well, that's so cool, Daz.
Thank you very much. And we'll like flip it on and just for funsies, very sequined. Like, very sequined.
Just Elton Johning it through this
Yeah.
town right now. All right, I had one other thing that was a thing for everyone else. If I could work this. But he is just kind of like giving you little parting gifts as he sort of walks out, like shaking everyone's hand, trying to be like very official, like, this is my town and thank you for stopping by. And just behind him, lady on an iPad, doing more work than him.
While he is distracted, I'm absolutely going to use just like send a message to this assistant woman and just be like, I'm so sorry. You're doing amazing work. You're doing I'm so sorry you're stuck doing this.
She sort of like jumps, not expecting
You
to.
can pull out of this.
Is that the one where you have to whisper?
It is. I'm trying to kind of like disguise it like underneath like all of his like bluster that's all going on over there.
Because well, being in charge of a town is actually quite gratifying. Thank you, though.
Sorry if we made your job harder.
You just kind of, somewhat audibly, as she's realizing like who says this, she takes one step towards you. The hardest part of my job is pretending someone else is doing all the hard work.
I love her.
And she just kind of watch.
And I
At this
give her,
point, she
like,
kind
a
of
sympathetic nod.
yeah, she kind of like turns and like walks to the bar though, and like whispers something to the two behind it, and then kind of like lets him finish his round of glad handing, and follows him out. And slowly coming back, you get quite a bit of food. Like, let's call it the equivalent of like 10 rations per person, sort of thing.
Take it.
And a little bit later, from somewhere, someone else comes back with a map, and it's just in a roll, and they hand it to you, and sort of, again, take like a little curtsy bow thing, and hop off. This one is one of the actual more like hoppy Harengons you've seen. But yeah, you have that. You have not yet seen your best friend Trundle.
We got him out.
Yeah, I mean, if we good to go? We heading out?
I don't see any reason to stick around. We should get
All right.
moving.
Before we go, I will just kind of maybe like I'll go up to like a guard who's like outside, like the guard who was like leaning against like the if I can find the same guard who showed us to like the room before last night or something, just like pull a guard or somebody like that aside, just be like, if you see Trundle around today, you just let them know that they still owe us. We were able to get what they were looking for, but so from someone else, so they still owe us that favor. Just if you happen to see Trundle.
I mean, Trundle still owes me a favor from 5 years ago, so
This all tracks, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, this makes sense.
I'll pass it along post haste.
No rush. It's fine. Like, it's all right. Just if you happen to cross paths.
On it. He goes to like leaning against the building, is just like cleaning little bits of dirt off of something with like a knife, like.
Just get there like some finger guns and be on my way. Yeah, just like.
And yeah, you kind of get like a little bit of a procession happening behind you as you start to make your way towards the exit. There's like the kids who saw Daz perform last night, like running behind Daz, just like they maybe cross your tail a few times. But really it's just behind everybody that they are following gladly, Wizard of Oz style, showing you out along the yellow brick road or whatever. So yeah, you make it up and you have your map and you can pick a direction.
To the tree!
To the tree.
To the tree.
So the few rabbits followed you out far enough to like wave to you, and you're kind of going back along the same trail that you that you made your way here on, because the tree was on the other side of the bridge. So you start heading that way.
Yeah.
And you're walking. And can I get whoever's leading the party a survival check?
I would be down to assist.
I was like, I mean,
Not it.
Ori would probably start walking and then just have to be directed. But she could be out in front.
I am not good at this, but hey, let's go.
I mean, maybe Ori's like a really good map reader and just can't actually apply it.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
Makes sense,
decent
makes
at
sense.
survival.
Just need a little help.
Whoever wants, whatever combination of whomever wants to roll or go
Elio
with
and
it.
Veritas are like pointing to the map.
Yeah, yeah.
I think we need to
Do
go
our
this
absolute
way.
best. All right. I think I will give the help action to Ori.
Okay. I'm rolling with the health. Do
Some
I roll it?
advantage.
I roll at advantage?
Advantage, yeah.
So 16.
16. All right, so you guys make it pretty easily. Like out of nowhere, Ori pulls out like one of those little like protractor things. You have the map, and then you're like looking above the trees. The map is not to scale in any way, shape, or form. It's very like stylized, and so there's like the castle up top, and it's like in this version of this map, it's clearly better days for the castle. Like there's little birds around it, and like music notes and just stuff like that. And then it's like the swamp, this big ring of trees. The road that goes to the castle also looks complete in this map. But you have the tree. You can't super tell how far it is based on this map, but as you're walking along the road, you've been walking the better part of the day, sat for lunch, all that sort of stuff. You come to a series of signs. And it's the kind of thing where the trail is splitting, and you have one that looks like the sort of more official signage. It's a big post with multiple placards that point to different directions. And then there sort of seems to be an amended sign off to the side a little bit, but the placards read, there's one that points down a very like dark and scary path that says Tea Party. There is one...
That sounds like pun.
That sounds great. No, there's one pointing to like the wider and kind of more direct road that says to the mines. I don't know why that was hard to say. So that's a kind of wide run. It looks like it has like a little bit more wagon track thing going on. And then there is another sign that says tree. Just that's all it says. It looks like it points to the right side of the road, and you're like, yeah, that's probably the correct direction based on this not at all accurate map. But then as you kind of turn and look down that road, there is another sign that, while it's well made, looks a little bit like hobbyist. You know, I made this sign so it looks as good as it can, but here's my sign. And it says, danger, imminent death.
I'm gonna take a wild guess and say it's that way. Pointing towards the danger, imminent death sign.
I don't know, that tea party sounds really fun.
I mean, it all sounds fun.
Indeed. Also, once we get done with this tree business, we did also find out that maybe going through the mines might be a route to the castle.
Oh, alright.
Well, that's helpful.
Good to know.
I believe, DM.
Yeah, that is
Okay.
correct. You did hear about a possibly very direct route to the castle.
Fantastic.
Well,
Don't go that way.
Oh, that's right to the castle. Yeah, but you are now, you're going down the imminent death road, yes?
Hell yeah.
Well, when you say it like that,
I'm just
I'm
repeating what
even
the
more
sign-
excited for
Yeah.
going down the imminent death road.
It's that or a tea party. Come on. So
Party
you
later.
start going down this road, and after about like a half mile, you come across another sign that just says, "Turn back now."
I have a
Walk right
feeling they're
past it.
trying to tell us something.
Yeah.
Which it's on the tip of my tongue. I know it.
It's almost
I wonder what it
there.
could be.
No idea.
Couldn't possibly imagine.
A little further on, sign that says "Danger."
There's a monster at the end of this book.
Do the signs look like very poorly made?
No, but like they are all kind of the same style where it's like someone who had received basic instruction in some sort of like woodworking and someone else who had basic instruction in calligraphy work together to make passable signs.
Okay, so the signs like don't look like children's writing. Is what I mean.
Yeah.
No, it's not like, you know, scraggly paint and backwards ease. It's not that sort of thing. They look like almost professional signs. The next one, however, does look like a child made it. And it says, "Prismia's best pies, 1 mile."
Oh.
Pie? I love pie.
What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah, absolutely nothing. And kind of a little bit after that sign, you do come to this big clearing. And in front of you, you see the huge, massive, towering trunk of this tree. It's still a little bit off, like you've got a way to go across this like open plain right here, which you kind of guess is like where the tree fell from somehow, but it's a fairly wide open space on a well-packed dirt road. Off to one side, there is a small, like a goblin girl by herself flying a kite. The other side has like nothing. It sort of seems to go back into the trees a little bit. So she's the only person that you see. But there is also just a path ahead of you that you could walk down.
Look to the others.
Never done that.
Flown a kite?
Mm.
You know, me neither, actually, now I think about it.
My sisters and I used to do it all the time in the courtyard. Do you want to try? It's kind of fun. Perhaps we could trade for it.
Mm.
Eh.
That feels like too heavy a price.
Well, maybe we can buy one later. Give it a
Yeah.
try. It's kind of fun.
Sure.
Okay.
Hmm.
There, tells you that.
Down the path.
Are you okay?
I'm just suspicious.
What's
Well,
tough?
you're always suspicious.
That is true.
That's why you were head of security, right?
Yes. It's the abrupt change in sign tone
Yeah.
that's wearing on my mind currently.
Maybe we've already passed the danger?
Are there any active signs of danger right around us? Traps or anything like that?
Nope, you are at the edge of a forest. Open field in front of you.
Hmm.
Tree. a little
I'm
up.
gonna.
Small goblin girl.
Small goblin girl by herself in a field.
Cobalt's gonna start walking forward.
Okay.
I mean, it's either stand here waiting around all day or get going, so.
That's true.
Are we walking back or are you walking towards the girl?
Oh, I'm walking forward.
Okay, so we're ignoring the girl.
I'm continuing down that path towards the tree.
Girl's got nothing to do with us.
As as you begin to walk out onto this path, you see that the girl notices you. And she kind of like looks up at the kite, and she's too far away for you to really see her like expression, but she starts with the kite in that way that kids who badly fly kites do. The one hand holding it starts running towards you all with this kite. And is waving you down with like her one free arm just kind of frantically.
All right.
Are you okay?
No!
What's wrong?
What's wrong?
Well, and she's like getting closer to you, but she keeps like looking back up at this kite, which if you look at is a very creepy kite. It has a sort of sinister smiling face on it, something that's very like horror-y, theater-y sort of stuff. And it is about the color of like a crack. It's like Necronomicon color.
Is this a skin kite?
It's a kite that looks like at some point it might have been the skin of something. It could just be like a decorative painting on some like leather. You don't know. And the wind is like whipping across this open plain. The kite is in like no danger of sort of falling out of the air. But as she looks at you and kind of looks back down, she just, you see like this little kid in like this cute little dress that looks almost like an official, like the kind of thing you would get if your parents worked at a castle. So she is in a little something that's almost like livery, and she just kind of comes running up to you and is looking at the kite. And none of the correct pages. God damn it.
Can I help you? Are you right?
Well, no, because if I could find this fucking poem.
Oh.
Hold for a moment.
Oh.
Hold for a moment. Just hold. While I look through every goddamn bookmark in here.
I don't think I want to fly a kite anymore.
Right. This kite is very unnerving.
I mean, our kites looked like birds and flowers.
Skinned birds.
No, it was like paper.
Mm.
And then
Not-
it was like a... Not that. I've never seen a leather kite before, and that's very disturbing.
Yeah, that's a word for it. Yeah.
Not a fan. Not at all.
Mm-mm.
Daz,
That shit looks cursed.
have you ever seen something like that before?
So I've seen quite a few things in leather.
Oh my god.
All right.
Well, I mean,
So this girl, you are having like this weird little conversation, and she's just kind of like in panic, like looking back up at this kite, and just at this point begins to like bawl earnestly, and says, "My arms are so very sore, I don't want to fly this kite anymore, but if I let go of the string, creeping Lynn says I'll become an old thing. The curse from those 5 blue bows. But they won't come off while the wind blows." And as you look up at the kite, there are 5 blue bows hanging from the tail of the kite, tied onto the string. And Creeping Lynn is a name that you had heard in the Warren. And it was like one of the other names that was said in reference to Edelin Moongrave. So,
Cool.
you are seeing this little girl flying this kite, and she is telling you she is cursed to fly it by Edelin Moongrave. And that is where we will end tonight's episode.
poor child, she'll have to keep
You
flying
looking at
that
the
kite.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I was like, I don't want her to be too sad, but yeah, no, the kid stuck there flying a kite. You're almost to a tree, and that is tonight's session of D&D right here on GutPunchRP. We'll go around and do a round of shout outs, and we'll go in reverse order this time. So we will go ahead and start with Princess Lady Bro.
Well, hello, I am Princess Lady Bro on the Stuff and the Things. I am not doing anything right now except working. Except come back next Friday. There's some trial things going on. A party might be separated, but there might be a portal involved. Darkness is rising. It'll be fun. Who knows?
Darkness and it's rising.
Weird.
All right. So then it'll be Nat.
Hello, I'm Natalie, Shield Maiden cosplay across all platforms. It's Shield with 2 eyes. You can also find me on Instagram at zelman.arts, where I post my artwork and pottery and things like that. And if you're in the Chicago area, I'm gonna be at a Chicago suburbs Pride Fest in June, on June 24th. All that info is, I'll be posting about that periodically leading up to that on that Instagram, zelman.arts. But mostly you can just find me here. Come back on next week, Friday, for Darkness Rising.
Jess.
Oh, hey, that's me. Hi, I am Jess or Jessica. You can find me on the things and the stuff as Dr. Psych Owl, except for on Twitter, where I'm Dr. Psych Owl TV for as long as Twitter continues to be a thing. Who knows how much longer that'll be. But yeah, come back on Friday. Because not this Friday, but next Friday for every other Friday for Darkness Rising.
Trademark PLB. All right, D.
Hello, my lovely creatures of the dark. My name is D. I am a voice actor, streamer, musician, professional GM all across the internet, and I voiced Julian in Woodsy Studios' Crimson Spires, which you can play now on all platforms, including Steam and Nintendo Switch. Thank you so much for joining me. You should follow me on Twitter until that hell site burns down and collapses in on itself, and then we'll take our adventures elsewhere. Thank you so much for joining us.
All right, Grayson.
Hi, I'm Captain Grayson. You can find me literally on all social media under that same name. I get to guest on this wonderful show with everybody, but when I'm not here, you can catch me every other Tuesday over on our Twitch channel, The Charisma Saving Show, where I play a little bard boy named Locke, who may or may not be related to sirens. Who knows? Come find out.
Ooh. Oh, that's me then. Hello. My name is Kai. Kyle the Creative on ye old internets. I have been your GM and rabbit person today. But yes, thank you for joining us. Thank you for liking and subscribing, as the kids say. Don't subscribe here. But yeah, no, that's it. That's what we got for you. See you every other Friday. What do we need?
We're rating Dimmy playing RPG.
There you go. Goodbye.